Hello and welcome to my channel Fat to Health with Jackie Can. I am Jackie Can, I am 55 years of age and I have been battling with my weight ever since I can possibly remember. Other than sitting in front of a really plain wall, I thought, you know, it looks a bit more professional doing that, innit? Hey look, as a picture of me when I was 26.5 stone. I am now currently at my weight of 18 stone 2. I am losing each week, but the way I'm doing it is I gave up the diet. I don't have a cure for anybody, so if you've stumbled across my videos accidentally, I'm hoping that I can inspire other people to do the same. I'm not telling you that diets don't work, of course they do. Every diet works if you're going to stick with it for the rest of your life. Now, if anyone says, oh, you can't stick to diets, you've got no willpower, it's a load of bollocks. Quite honestly, it is a load of bollocks, because if you can get up in the morning and go to work, if you can get into a car and go somewhere nice for the day, if you can go out and buy presents for grandchildren, I don't know, if you celebrate Christmas or whatever, you've got willpower. If you didn't, you'd be in bed all bleeding day and you wouldn't do absolutely jack shit. Oh, sorry, I swore. Don't swear, Jackie. Anyway, I've been yo-yo dieting practically as long as I can remember. Before I was a teenager, I used to feel quite tubby against my cousins. My cousins used to dress really nicely. They were slim, they had beautiful hair, they were allowed to wear makeup, but I was just like a tomboy. I used to play football, and whenever we were together, I looked a bit frumpy. So as I got older, I grew boobs and I then had a gorgeous shape, and it attracted quite a lot of men. And I used to go on the dance floor. I got a little bit confident, as you do on the dance floor, dancing, but I still felt a bit fat against everybody else in their little mini skirts and their gorgeous makeup and everything else. So I always felt a little bit out of it. I then started working and I used to go out with my workmates and drink pints of lager. I used to have loads of vodka and stuff like that. And I felt the weight creeping on, but I was still quite shapely and I was quite happy with the way I looked. Then I had a job which was called a live-in cook. It was working in a pub. I lived above the pub and I used to get up early in the morning and do all the cooking. Now, I was constantly eating to my heart's content. I would have egg, bacon, beans, fries, sliced tomatoes, onion, baked beans, everything, and I would have copious amounts of toast with lashes of butter on it. And of course then I would pick throughout the day. I would then do dinners and then I'd have a couple of meals, why not? And then in the evening I would have steak and chips and anything I wanted, of course on top of lager and lime as well. This went on for 3 years and I started feeling a little bit hefty. I went past my size 18, where it was almost impossible back then to find a pair of jeans that fitted. So it was really, really hard, and I started to feel a little bit, I don't know, this doesn't feel right. I can't get into a pair of jeans. And then of course Evans came along, woohoo, a shop that would catered for larger women, and I basically lived there. So as the years went on, I then had one gorgeous child. I put on loads of weight. I then had the second gorgeous child. I put on even more weight, and then I had a third child and she was adorable, and yes, you guessed it, I put on even more weight. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling very, very happy with myself, and I felt very depressed, and all I was doing was taking it out on everybody else around me. My relationship broke down and I found myself as a single mum, and as a single mum I then just ended up in so much debt. I had to go bankrupt and my weight just went on and on and on. I had learnt to drive in that time, which then stopped me from walking here, there and everywhere. So I was then fast going up to a size 30. And when I went to 32, I thought, that is it. 2006, I decided enough was enough. I did try a few diets. I'd lost 3 stone. I would put it all back on again. I'd lose 3 stone. I'd put it back on again. So in 2006, I was offered a gastric band. A friend of mine had it done and she'd lost copious amounts of weight and looked rather gorgeous. I thought that this was going to be my easy fix. I was going to have this gastric band. I wouldn't be able to eat anymore and I would be cured. Yes, oh, be skinny mini and look rather gorgeous. But it didn't happen. I ended up very, very ill. I had hiatus hernia. I had ulcers. I then had gallstones. I had gallstones for about a year before they even removed them, and then I ended up having to remove my gallbladder as well, which it was so painful. In 2010, they decided enough was enough. I couldn't cope with the fact that I had to have smaller sized meals. And I really mean from going from a bit, excuse my cup of tea, I'll put that down before I spill it. Before, I had a huge plate with lashings of food. Now, if you're new to this channel, I would suggest you go and watch this one, Larger Than Life, which is a documentary of when I was 26.5 stone and just what I used to eat then. Shortly after this, in 2006, I had the gastric band and I was reduced to having little amounts like this. How could he survive? I couldn't survive. My head was all over the place. They told me to puree everything and my head just couldn't compute. How do you puree a roast dinner? How do you puree beans on toast with cheese on top? How do you puree a jacket potato? I just couldn't get my head around it. It was ridiculous. So, as I say, 2007, they decided that the saline had to come out. This girl cannot diet with this gastric band. She's bloody useless. Take it out. She's a lost cause. But I was so happy because I could eat. I could eat again. But I thought, you know what, I'll go to the slimming club and I'll be fine. I can lose weight, I can do it. So I felt all confident. I started my regime of caloretics as you do. And I was walking and I was being fantastic. I even started Zumba. And of course, around about 2014, I believe, I did my knee in doing Zumba. Because this big bird, I had arthritis in my knee. So there, Zumba was no good for me. I wasn't strengthening the muscles around my knee. I was actually damaging it. So I was on crutches for around about a year. I went to the hospital and they said, you know what? You need a new knee ASAP, but you are far too big. You need to lose 3 stone. If you lose 3 stone, we can then do you the operation that you need and you'll be cured. But we don't like to do it because you are too young. You're far too young, but your knee is basically bone on bone. There's no hope for you. You need a new knee. With this, I went home and cried and thought, okay, I'll lose 3 stone. I can do this. So I embarked on going back to the slimming club again and I tried. I really, really did try. And I put on weight yet again. Nothing would happen. All my life, throughout my dieting life, I always wanted that one thing. There's that one thing that you read in the magazines when this wonderful person has lost all their weight because they had a photograph or they seen a video about themselves or they broke a chair or they were embarrassed by something that coaxed them into losing all their weight forever. I wanted that. I broke many, many chairs. Couldn't fit in a seat on the aeroplane and was embarrassed to ask for the extra extension. I got stuck in many, many chairs in front of people. I split my pants in front of people. I just went home and cried and ate more, as you do. I realised I was addicted to chocolate as well. Throughout my life, I looked, ever since I was a young kid, my parents used to give me dinner money to spend on dinners. But what did I spend it on? Chocolate. I would go to the shop and fill my pockets with chocolate. I would make an excuse. Sir, can I go to the toilet, please? I'd go to the toilet, stuff my face with chocolate. So I didn't realise I had a problem. Then all my children left home. This is time for me to start anew. So I moved to a small bungalow. I was single. I had been single for 11 years and I never thought that I would ever meet somebody. It wasn't in my interest. I didn't want anybody else, but secretly I think I did. I kind of missed that human touch, that somebody to love. But I thought I was destined to be single for the rest of my life. But then I had a sofa and I needed to sell it. So I put it on Facebook Marketplace, as you do. And a young man texted me and said, "Is it still available?" And I said, "Yes. Can you help me put it in a van?" I thought, bleeding cheek. So he came to my door and we've been together ever since. That's 3 years this December. And it's been the best. When I met him, I was a big girl and I had no makeup on. What you see is what you get. Even on here is what you see, what you get. I've got a bit of makeup on today, but I don't always wear makeup, as you will see throughout the videos. And he loved me for who I am. He moved in, we've been happy ever since, but we both love our food, we both love our drink as well. So we had a bit of a party for the first couple of years. We went to Slimming Club to try and lose it. We lost 3 stone together and it was amazing. We went on holiday and then we put it all back on. And we vowed that we would go back to the Slimming Club and lose the weight again, but it never kind of happened. I was determined that I would be in it for life because I needed to have something for life. I vowed to myself that I would never ever reach 20 stone ever again in my life. But I was 20 stone too. I was mortified. I sat down rather depressed. My partner was still at work and I felt, what do I do? How can I do this? And then I thought to myself, you have all the answers in your head. Come on, Jackie, you know the vegetables are good for you. You know that salad is good for you. You know fruit is good for you. You've learned a lot going through these diet clubs. When I was at diet club, it felt like I was in the food 24/7. Whether it was points, whether it was sins, whether it was calories, whether it was counting fats, it just felt that I was constantly thinking about food. So I decided to embark on something a little bit different, giving up the diets. I had to give up the diets because for me, they were no good. I got myself a smaller plate. I stopped eating between meals. Now, how I stopped eating between meals was cutting down on sugar. Sugar is like cocaine. It is incredibly addictive, and salt too. But with sugar, it is in a lot of processed foods. It's in a lot of hidden foods as well. So I had to cut down. As soon as I started cutting down, I felt ill. My head felt heavy. I had headaches. I felt lethargic. I couldn't concentrate. I just wanted to sleep. It felt like I had flu. But it was me coming off the sugar. I didn't cut it out completely because I knew that if I cut it out, I'll be craving it again. While I started cutting it out, I felt the cravings disappear. I no longer was looking for food. I no longer wanted the food. I still had the odd habit of going into the kitchen and opening the cupboards and hoping that something would jump out at me and go, "Hey, rice pudding, I'm over here, come and get me." But I know that I can actually close them tight and say, "Nope, I don't need it." And then I'll go and do something else, like maybe learn to play a song on the piano. I'm no good, but I'm learning from YouTube. You're never too old to learn a new skill. Or I'll do some writing, or I'll come onto YouTube and do something, find out a little bit more about YouTube and how I can get more subscribers. Subscribe to me if you like me. Give us a thumbs up. Please follow me. So, as you know, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Being an entertainer as well, I've missed having an audience to perform to. So I'm hoping you are in my audience. I'd love to keep you. I really enjoy what I'm doing. So in a nutshell, I've given up the diets. I've given up diet food. I basically have what I want. I don't go back for seconds. If I go out for a meal, I sure as hell am going to eat what I want, but I just won't have a starter. I won't have dessert. I'll have what I really fancy. Gone are the days when I'm looking at the menu feeling really sad, thinking, God, got to have a bleeding salad here. I don't want a bleeding salad. I'm paying money for a bleeding salad. God. So now I have what I want. And since I've given up the diets and the diet food, I'm losing weight. And it's the same about exercise as well. I wasn't too keen on exercise. I had an accident on my bike many years ago, and I vowed that I'd never get on a bike again, but during lockdown the sun was out and I really fancied trying something new. So I started cycling just around the block. I started walking just around the block, and I do it when I feel like it. And now I'm cycling here, there and everywhere. I'm walking here, there and everywhere. I walk my daughter's dog 6 days a week and I love it. I really love it. I bought myself an indoor bike as well, just so that if I fancy it, I'll get on it. It's not going to ever be a clothes hanger like the one before many years ago. I actually enjoy it. And I'm so happy. I feel the chains of the food around my neck have gone. I'm no longer a prisoner to food. And I don't know what the future holds. It could all end tomorrow. I don't know. A few weeks ago I did put on 3 pounds, but it didn't bother me because I knew that I was okay. I didn't question it. I went, okay, I put on 3 pounds. It could be my body going, hold on, here's something different. Something's not quite right. What's happening here? And it kind of held on to a bit of fat or a bit of water, whatever it was. And then the following week I lost it. So it doesn't bother me anymore. I feel free. And if I can inspire somebody else, if I can resonate with you or you resonate with me, please subscribe to me. Come and watch me. Tell me your life story. I'd love to hear from you. If you think these videos are far too long and you're bored and you're fast forwarding, let me know. I won't be offended at all. I need to know how to make better videos as well. So thanks ever so much for listening. I am what you see. Sometimes you might put on a video and I've got no makeup on whatsoever. I might have food down my top. My hair might be a mess. Incidentally, it's up like this because I did actually try to cut my hair myself. My hairdresser's going to have kittens when she sees me next Friday. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. Enjoy my videos. Lots of love. If I can do it, you can too.
I love you. I love you, baby.